Election season is in full swing where federal party leaders are making their pitch for your vote with campaign promises aimed at saving you money. But are the promises economically viable? Moshe Lander is here from Concordia University to break them down for us. Good morning, Moshe.
Good morning.
Let's start with the Conservatives' plan. They're pledging to remove GST from all new homes under $1.3 million. And before we get your take on it, here's a reminder of their pitch.
We're going to take the GST off new homes, axe the sales tax on homes of less than $1.3 million, saving people up to $65,000.
Now, Moshe, give us your thoughts on this. A lot of people say something has to give. If they're promising this, we're going to see cuts elsewhere. Crunch the numbers for us.
Well, for sure, you're going to have to find something elsewhere. It almost seems like they had these placards written up for axe the tax, and then all of a sudden they didn't have a way to use it. So they're just scrambling around finding where can we axe the tax and make use of all of this money that we spent on this advertising. The problem that I have is that's going to increase the demand for housing. It's going to make people who are on the fence about whether they wanted to buy or not say, well, now I'm in. But what's the problem with the housing market is that there's already too much demand. So this is counterproductive. This is just going to drive housing prices higher. It's not going to drive them down. The way that you want to fix the problem is on the supply side and encourage people to build more homes, not encourage people to buy more homes. But the other part of the problem, of course, is that while $65,000 is a lot of money, a lot of Canadians can't even come up with the down payment. And that's where their issue is. It's not the mortgage part.
Right. It's the cost of the home in the first place. Let's take a look at the Liberals' plan and what they're promising. They're planning to cut the middle class tax rate by 1%. So it'd go from 15% down to 14%. Here's their pledge.
I'm proposing a middle class tax cut to help all working Canadians get ahead. We will cut the lowest income tax bracket by 1 percentage point.
Moshe, some look at this and say, what does 1% really do? And how much is that going to save a household? But apparently, if you're a dual income household, it could be maybe just under $1,000 a year.
Yeah, if you want to make the numbers sound flattering, that's exactly the way you present them. You say that a couple will save $825, which means that an individual would save about $400. If you get paid every 2 weeks, that means that you're talking about $15 per paycheck. So again, is that one of the things that's going to keep Canadians afloat and help them make their ends meet? I don't think that's going to be the tipping point. If it's an issue of $15 every 2 weeks, that's the difference between solvency and insolvency. I think you have bigger problems. But $1 a day, hey, Tim Hortons would be very happy to see you show up one extra trip per day for a coffee.
I'm sure they will. Barely puts a dent in most people's bills. Let's hear from the NDP. They're promising $1 billion over 5 years for rent-controlled home construction. Here's what NDP leader Jagmeet Singh is saying.
When we see federal land, we want to use all of it, 100% of federal land that's usable to build homes that are affordable.
A lot of people tend to suggest that whatever the NDP comes up with, we can't afford. But Moshe, give us your thoughts.
Well, that does seem to be the party of spending. Look, if you're saying you want to use all federal land, and he even stressed that. Are we talking about that we're converting national parks into housing? I don't think that's exactly what he meant. $1 billion is not going to get you a lot of land in a lot of downtown areas, which is what I think he was referring to. And when you create rent control, it's great for the people who get it, but it does create housing shortages. And the longer that rent control lasts, the worse the housing shortage gets. So again, is this really addressing the problem, or is this just adding to the problem? It sounds good on the surface, but maybe it's a party that realizes it's not going to have power this time around, so it can make those promises and not have to worry about the consequences, but can blame everybody else when things go sideways.
I hear you. Let's hear from the Green Party next. They're proposing a $40,000 tax-free income threshold. Here's what they're saying.
The Greens are proposing significant tax cuts on people making $100,000 and less.
Give us your thoughts on this. So some people say, well, you know what? A lot of seniors may really like this one. Some who are retired or on a fixed income. Moshe.
Yeah, you know what? All Canadians should like it. If you're going to bump the threshold up to $40,000 before taxes kick in, then that's pretty much every Canadian is going to see some benefit. Because even if you're earning less than $40,000, it means that your income now would be entirely tax-free. The issue is, how are you going to make up that money? Because that's a
Right.
sizable amount of tax revenue that you're giving up, and you better find a way to claw that back elsewhere. Remember that the outgoing government had a $60 billion deficit to contend with, so whoever the new government is going to inherit that amount, plus whatever promises they've made over top of it. It's not exactly like the economy is going to be stronger when they take power than it was when the outgoing government left it.
So in your opinion, not very viable?
Well, again, it's a great offer. I just want to see what the other shoe to drop is going to be when they say that we're going to slash healthcare, when we're going to slash something else, or when they say that we're going to tax the rich or we're going to tax corporations. Then there you go. That's how they're going to make up the money.
All right, Moshe Lander of Concordia University, thank you so much for being with us. Always appreciate it.
Anytime.